What's up guys, welcome back to a new Dying Light 2 video. Now as most of you already know, we got the Dying Light 2 Q&A that came out like a couple days ago. I believe we got around like 6 questions, I think it might have been. It was somewhere around like 6 questions. But we did definitely get some pretty interesting responses to things we thought we might have already knew. We had some minor corrections here and there, to say the least. But one thing I wanted to talk about that might have slipped most people's minds, literally the first question they went over. And the question was basically something like, how big is the map of Dying Light 2? And right when I heard that question, I was like, here we go again. We're talking about stuff we've already known from the past. But overall, the Q&A was pretty good, I would say. But getting back to the particular question about the map size, the information we've gotten in the past about the map size has been that it is supposedly 4 times the size of the slums and Old Town combined, the 2 original maps from Dying Light. That was the initial information we got about the map size. But when Timon actually answered this question, he said it's 2 times the size of the slums in Old Town.
You just take the slums, you take the Old Town, you combine them and you double the number, and that's roughly the size of the game space in Dying Light 2.
So what's going on here? A lot of people are probably just going to let this slip away and not think much of it, but I felt like we definitely needed to address this because it is kind of a little bit of a big deal. I mean, going from 4x to 2x the size is a big difference. The other thing he said about the map size is that it was about 6 or 7 kilometers, that obviously meaning the horizontal distance. He did mention how the vertical aspect of the game is going to be very important as well, and I hope that's the case, but right now in this video we're just going to be covering the actual horizontal distance. Now getting back to it, 6 or 7 kilometers, let's just go with 7 to give them some room. The first thing I did with that was convert that to miles, which is about 4.3 miles. Now, if we really want to measure how big this map would be in terms that everyone can really understand and we can actually feel in a way, because let's be honest, we can't really, even though they say the map is 7 kilometers, 4.7 miles, whatever, we can't feel that, you know what I mean? We can't tell how long the map is, how wide it is, how, we can't really feel that. And the alternate solution, I would say, is to really measure how long it would take to cross the map. Now, obviously, we can't do that with Dying Light 2. We can do that, however, with the Dying Light 1 maps. And because I didn't feel like doing this myself, I did find a couple videos on YouTube of people doing this, just running across the map. And for this guy I was looking at, it took him about 7 minutes for Old Town and Slums each. And this guy in the video was taking his time, to be honest, so I think he could have got it done in 5 minutes each. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and test that, I think it's going to be relatively about how much time it would take. But the point is anyway that 5 minutes each equals 10 minutes total for both maps, which would equal 20 minutes to actually cross the map in Dying Light 2. And we're talking about running across the map here. Walking across the map is a different story, would probably take, to be honest, about maybe double the amount of time or longer. Now, measuring how long it takes to cross the map may give you somewhat of an image or feel for how big the map might be, especially since we can directly compare it to the Dying Light 1 maps, which is kind of nice. But there's still a lot of aspects that are really hard to account for. For example, parkour, movement speeds in every game are different. But for me personally, the maps in Dying Light 1 felt relatively big for how small they actually are. And I think a lot of that has to do with parkour, and I think it has to do with the fact that there's a lot of content inside the maps as well. Like, there's a decent amount of explorable areas and a decent amount of things to do. So it doesn't really ever feel like the map is that small. We still ended up going from 4x the size of Dying Light 1 maps combined down to 2x. So it's definitely a downgrade. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It actually could be a better thing for the game with more condensed areas, more things to do within the map. So in my opinion, the map size is really not going to make or break this game. But like I said, we're going from 4x to 2x for whatever reason. Maybe a downgrade, maybe miscommunication at first, who really knows? But as of right now, I'm not expecting this map to be a giant open world. I'm expecting it to still feel pretty big, but I'm also expecting a decent amount or a lot of content inside the map since it's not going to be as big as we initially expected. Let me know what you guys think down below. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and like it, subscribe, and put notifications on. Twitter and Discord are in the description, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.